Hi, this is Mandy from Sunflowers and Doors. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm literally just picking up on where I left off with the William Morris journal. I don't even know where I left off, to be honest. So I am just going to grab this out and see where we are and what we have got left to do. Okay. Oh, excuse the noise. Okay, so today I'm hoping to just do a little bit more decoration before I start to make the cover. This is the material that I've got for the cover. It is William Morris material. Absolutely love it. Yeah, and I think that'll go really, really nicely with the journal project. So yeah, I'm going to pop that back away for now. And just thought I'm going to have a little play with this. So rather than just have a play, I thought I would kind of just bring you along to the process. Yeah, and go from there. To be honest, I don't even know whether I'm going to be using all of this lace. I do really like it, but I don't know how much of it I need to use. I don't know how much of it is going to kind of take it away from the picture or the imaging. So yeah, we'll just have a quick look for now. And you know, it hasn't got to be for pages. It can be for the ephemera, just to kind of spruce it up a little bit. My last couple of videos have been really disastrous, to be honest, because the one I recorded and it didn't record, or I say it didn't record, and I'm going to kind of leave that as my excuse. I probably didn't record properly. Do you know when you are recording a video and you take a break and then you record you kind of take a bit of a break from the video, or for whatever reason, and you come back to it and then you click on record again, but it's actually on the just the picture version. So that has happened quite a few times. And yeah, that's been fun when you think you're chatting away to an audience and you're not. You'll have to excuse me tonight. I'm really, really tired. It's Friday. It's been a full week, and the weekend is here, which is awesome. I really need it, but I probably need an early night more than anything else. Okay. I do love working with Fabri-Tac, and it does dry quite quickly, but it can leave that residue. And I'm always impatient, so I'm always ready to flip over to the next thing without allowing it to dry properly. And then you're kind of pulling it away from the next page. So really liking this ribbon. I got it from, I want to say, Hobbycraft. Hobbycraft in the UK is quite a big deal. Yeah, it's got some amazing bits and pieces in. And oh, that's not supposed to happen. Yeah, it's like, I suppose it's like your, I don't know, across the pond, your, I don't know what you'd call them. But you've got your places that sell just craft materials, and that's pretty much what Hobbycraft does. So yeah, it's good. It's probably not as big as it could be. I think they kind of miss out on a lot of opportunities, because crafting has just become so big in the UK. Yeah, and I think if they, I don't know, if they expanded a little bit, they would probably nail the market, because there doesn't seem to be any other solid competition, unless you look at the likes of online. There's some big players online. You've got your Amazons. There's a couple of big players that sell a lot of craft material kind of popping up now, which is great because it gives you a lot of options. You're not kind of just restricted to the one or two places. Yeah, I like that. It's probably going to stick again, so I'm just going to give it a minute or two. It does feel as though it's kind of setting. I bought the blue because I absolutely loved the colour, but I think I'm going to kind of be restricted to what I can use it on, because it's quite stark to use on its own. So yeah, we'll have a little look and see what we're going to do with that. It'll probably be more for the perhaps the outside of the signatures. Yeah. So I've got a lot of people getting in touch lately, which is lovely. Lovely to hear from you guys. A lot of them talking about putting signatures together using the elastic band kind of process instead of stitching them in. Now, I love the stitching in process because, it's does what it does, and it kind of, it's a permanent fix, and yeah, it really does look good. But I am leaning more and more to the just the using elastics, because what I'm conscious of is if you kind of want to change things up a little bit, you want to move your papers around, or you actually use it as an active journal, and you make a mistake, and you kind of get yourself stuck then with the kind of consequences of that. Whereas if you use the elastics, you can just literally take out and add and do whatever. I love the flexibility they give. So I am using those a lot more, and I will be using those for this journal. To be honest, it won't be long before we start tackling the cover. So, if that is something you're interested in, then just keep an eye out, because as I said, we will be using that kind of method for this journal. There's a lot of videos out there, mind, if you're kind of in a rush, or you don't want to hang on. There's loads of videos out there with people showing you different ways of attaching signatures to journals. Some great inspiration out there. Okay. Gosh, I really can't get over how tired I am today. Really feeling it. So, yeah, I might cut a bit of these strings down as well, because they're probably a bit much, to be honest. It's a perfect colour match for the blues. Definitely a perfect colour match for the blues, but it can look pretty stark on the more beigey colours. So it's the weekend here. lots planned this weekend. I normally just love to chill out on the weekends. It's kind of like my recharge of batteries time. But I am going to my niece's Saturday night, tomorrow night, for some food, which is always a pleasure to go there anyway. But when you start talking about food, then you've got my attention. So yeah, that'll be really, really good. Really looking forward to that. Haven't put enough glue on this. Yeah, so town in the morning to do a little bit of have some breakfast with my big sister and do a little bit of shopping. I'm hoping to fit some crafting in the afternoon, and then Sunday is a much quieter day. I've got a church in the morning, and yeah, the day then is a lot quieter, but I do love chill out weekends. It's funny, I was talking to somebody today, just general chit chat about, you know, changes since COVID, and we've all kind of become quite, well, I've noticed that people are a lot more stay at home since COVID than they were beforehand. So for me, there's nothing better than a night in with my PJs and either crafting or watching a good movie, or yeah, you just don't need to go out these days, do you? And kind of everything costs a fortune, and I don't know, you just never know these days. World's not the same anymore, and yeah, I suppose people don't always feel safe going out anymore. And the youngsters, they go out and party literally all night. I'm ready for bed by like 10 o'clock. It's quite sad, actually. I don't know whether that's a reflection on my age or just I'm getting boring. So yeah, but there we go. I don't want to turn this too girly or flowery because I'm really not a flowery person, but I do want to just add a little bit. It's kind of nice, isn't it, to make sure that you're kind of catering for lots of different people and lots of different styles. Okay, so just going to make sure that that hasn't stuck anywhere that it shouldn't have. A little bit of lace on there, it's pretty. Some more lace there. Just trim that. I am too neat. I need to kind of just get in touch with my messy child and live life on the edge a little bit more when I'm journaling. At the moment, everything is so neat and precise. Yeah. Okay, so I'm happy that that has softened some of those pages a little bit without turning it into yeah, a huge floral piece. The blues, I like the idea of using the blues. I quite like it on this cover here. So I'm going to give myself a bit of room and just glue this in place. Just weird, I'm using Fabri-Tac or 3-in-1 at the moment, for, you know, obviously for using with fabrics. And I use our glitter glue for most other things. I will use a glue stick, as long as it's kind of backed up with either your art glitter glue or your Fabri-Tac. But do you know what? I cannot seem to get my hands on art glitter glue at the moment. I think I've said it in one of my other videos. and somebody was mentioning that it's, sometimes it's linked to the weather, and I do notice sometimes it really misbehaves with the weather, but gosh, it's absolutely shot up in price. It's crazy. I used to be able to get it for the big sizes for about £24, and now it's almost £40. So it's absolutely crazy pricing. But I suppose, we don't know whether we're blaming that on Brexit or whether we're blaming that on, the other mad things that are going on in the world at the moment. Which, as much as I've got an opinion on, I'm certainly not going to start talking politics and war and goodness knows what. It's nice sometimes to just come on, isn't it, and escape the real world for a while you can, before you have to kind of get back to it all. So do you know what? I don't know. I've got a couple of collaborations coming up, which I think I've mentioned in some of my recent videos, but I just don't know what I'm going to do next. I had a full schedule of what I was doing, and it was quite exciting. And then I'm actually making progress fast and furious. So I don't know what's next, to be honest. That'll be interesting. I might have 5 minutes to just spend some time watching more tutorials. We'll see. Still working messily, as you can see. I do try to keep the camera just on the tidy portion of my desk, but that doesn't always work. I wish I could show you the rest, but honestly you wouldn't take me seriously at all as a crafter if I showed you how bad it actually is. Okay. I wanted to do that corner piece like that, but I actually don't love it as much as I thought I would. But there you go. Like that a lot. It must be me. I must be getting more girly as I'm getting older. I can't even see if any of this is coming out. Okay, so that'll go there. And we'll pop that up there like that. So it just joins the other piece of fabric. Really pretty lace, this one. I wish I'd probably picked up more of it, but I can always pop back. It's not too far. Excuse me. So I've still got some journal cards to make. I brought some card down the other day that I had left over from a project, so I think I'm gonna use that to make some journal cards, and whether they fit or not, and I will pop those in. And as I said, we're almost done. So the next step will be the journal cover, and yeah, and then we are all done. So it would be really good to know what you guys are up to. Pop it in the comments below. It gets a bit boring sometimes when you're just talking about what you're up to all the time. I've been touching base with some friends, and there's lots going on in the crafting community at the moment. We've got Rachel from Rach and Bella Craft, who is hosting a huge collaboration for the month of April. And that is going to be pretty awesome. I don't know if any of you are on the Rach and Bella Craft Facebook page. I think it's Junk Journal Trading Post. Absolutely fantastic group. There is one member on there, Carol Ann, who has kind of taken a leap at the moment and is starting to sell some of her ephemera on an Etsy shop that she has opened. And it's absolutely gorgeous stuff. So I think I've done, by the time this goes up, I will have done an unboxing or an unpacking of some of her items that she'd sent over. So if you haven't seen that already, then pop over. But there's just so much going on. I am spending a lot of time at the moment, as I said, trying to catch up with some videos. You've got Rach and Bella from Rach and Bella Craft, and you've got Justine from House of Mahalo, Tanya from Tatty Treasures. I'm finally getting widening my scope, shall I say. So I'm watching a lot from Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah, and is it Barbara at 49 Dragonflies? And I just can't believe where I have been hiding myself, because, gosh, there are some incredibly, incredibly talented people out there, and I am absolutely loving it. So I think sometimes I just need to spend some time watching rather than always doing. I think it's the quickest way to get burnout, isn't it, when you're just constantly doing and doing and doing. I'm really loving this lace. The colour's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I may have to pop down and grab some more of this. Okay, so that's just signature 2, and now on to the final signature. Every time I flip on that page, I keep saying I've got to make a journal notebook for it, and I will get around to making a notebook for it. I don't want to cover too much of the available journaling space. Okay, sorry if you can hear the banging in the background. It's the dryer. Going 10 to the dozen. I can do a full page with that. I don't want to waste that if I can do a full page. Quite like the idea of putting a pocket on the back of this envelope. So we'll see if we can take it off first of all. It seems to be quite taken with that page. Okay, so This is some lace that I purchased recently from Facebook Marketplace, and it was a beautiful story behind it. I don't know, I may have already shared this. It was a lady who had recently lost her mum to Alzheimer's, and she'd come across a load of lace her mum used to use, and she was going to sell it and send the proceeds to the Alzheimer's charity. And she got in touch the other day to say that she had done that. So it was so lovely. So I've picked up a couple of bits and pieces from her, and this is one of them, and it's so beautiful. And I've also got a thinner version, a much thinner version, and also a cream one. Sometimes you're kind of, you catch something, don't you? And yeah, absolutely love it. But it was so lovely what she was doing, in her mum's name. And yeah, I was really quite taken with it. So it was lovely for her to get back in touch with me just to let me know. I didn't expect it for 1 second. I did send her a picture of one of the journals I'd made using some of the lace, just so that she could see it kind of being used. Yeah, it's a cruel old world sometimes, isn't it? But, there's always that ray of hope. People can surprise you sometimes, good and bad, I suppose, but yeah. It's just such a lovely gesture. Very touching. Okay, so this is the last of that lace. So we'll just pop that on there. Excuse me. Okay. And that will go in my scraps box. My scrap box now, mind, is actually becoming an area where I need a separate storage place just for that. I've been watching so many people making use out of their scraps, and gosh, some of the things they do absolutely blows me away. And yeah, it's been really quite an eye-opener. So now I am actively trying to keep hold of my, gosh, I'm making a right pig's ear of this, actively trying to keep hold of my scraps to make things. But as I said, it's really difficult when you don't have much room behind you. But there we go. Okay, so we've used all of our beige. I'm just going to go back through again to see whether there's any more room where I'd like to use the blue, because I do really love the blue. I think it's so pretty, but it's definitely has to go with, I don't know about that. What do you think? Yes, no, yes. No, I can't make my mind up. I love it when people ask questions on camera, and I'm always there shouting, yes, no. Yeah. So that's always a little bit of fun. Gosh, I can't believe how dark it's going already. I'm going to have to turn the lights on in a moment. It was lovely when I came out. This weather's turned again, mind, and it's really lovely weather. I don't think I'm going to get away with that, excuse me, on any of these papers. I really don't think I'm going to get away with it. I think it's too standouty. Is that a word? Standouty. It's quite pretty. Let's have a little look-see of that. Okay, so we've got that there, and we're going to cut it there. I need to seriously clean my scissors up as well. I keep forgetting I'm supposed to use a separate pair when I'm doing fabrics, and a separate pair when I'm touching something that may have glue on it, and my poor Tim Holtz take a battering and get used for everything. And they do stand up to most things, so I can't say I'm disappointed, but I'm sure. I wonder if I've got a leak there. I wonder if I've got a hole. But I am sure, excuse me, that I'm going to damage them if I carry on going. So pretty. I don't want to put lace everywhere in mine, but I do want to kind of use it where I can. I've been looking at some tools, crafting tools recently. I've got a huge guillotine, which is absolutely amazing, but it's just so big and bulky, so every time I want to use it, I've got to take it out. So I'm thinking of getting one of the smaller guillotine type ones. Mine's like a big pull along two pole things. I'm really good at explaining, as you can see. So I'm thinking that is going to be the next move for me. So watch this space. I'm terrible at the moment. I'm just constantly looking for things to kind of spend on, which is really not healthy, to be honest. And it's certainly not justified, particularly with the amount of stuff that I've got that I haven't used yet. I need to take a leaf out of people's books and, kind of maximise the use of the stuff I've got rather than constantly looking for the next thing. I'm terrible because I will watch a video and I think, oh gosh, that's gorgeous. I really want to have a go at making that. And so, I think Corey calls it squirreling. But I think, I'm going to have a go at that. And then, all the projects that I've got pending or waiting to go that I've prepped and I've got all the materials together, they all just get stuck in a box. And I become fixated on this new project that I want to have a go at. And I don't have any of the stuff usually. So, the first thing I'd do is kind of turn the computer on and start scouring Amazon for the stuff that's needed. So I'm trying to get better at that because it really isn't healthy at all, and it is really not doing my bank balance any good. So I'm trying to stay in lane, if you like, or stay on track. So I'm putting a plan together so that I can be a lot more focused and a lot more prepared, and I'm going to try for the next 3 months to stick to it. So if you guys are going to be showing any gorgeous new projects or or whatever, please don't, because I really don't want to be distracted and find myself off focus again. That would actually make quite a nice pocket. I'm not going to use it, but it would make a nice pocket. No, I'm just clutching at straws now. This was the other piece of lace that I had. This is for the thinner one. And gosh, there's so much of it. I think I'm going to be using it forever and a day. So it's really lovely. And it's all quite old. It's quite vintagey. When I say vintagey, you know, what is vintage these days? Is it anything over 30 years or something along those lines, isn't it? And I think this is from the late 70s, early 80s. And it does feel different, doesn't it? The older stuff has got more of that, I don't know, more of that, I don't know how to say it. The new stuff is very soft, isn't it? This older stuff seems to be more structured and more, I want to say stoic, but that's more people, isn't it, rather than materials. But it's the only thing that kind of comes to mind. It's very, I don't know, hard wearing. Would that be a good, description? I just want to use one more piece of this and I'll be happy, because I bought it for this project. And I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, so our signatures are coming along. They're getting very chunky. Really love a chunky journal, especially one that kind of expands a little bit. So yeah, coming along nicely. Okay, so the next thing I think is just literally going to be to make a bit of a note as to what we've got left to do. I know I've got some journal cards to make. Let me grab my bits of card that I had left over. Okay, and perhaps we'll make a couple of journals with some of these first. Some of them are quite small. This is like a linen card. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to put the lights on a moment. Hang on. That was my chair. Oh, bear with. It really was lovely and light when I came out, and now it's just, it's gone really dark, but not dark enough to shut everything off. So yeah, so this is linen card. Don't know if you can see the texture, really lovely. And my printer kind of had a bit of an epi. What I mean by a little bit of an epi, for those of you not from the UK, is it had a bit of a tantrum through his teddy at the pram. So it only kind of forced the printer to print just part of the card, which was bizarre because you didn't get the card, didn't get the full card being used, and you also didn't get the full image. So yeah, that was a little bit disappointing, but it does mean I've got some cards now for journal cards. I'm just cutting these because they didn't because it printed a bit wonky. These aren't straight now, so I'm just going to straighten them up a little bit so that they're still not right. I mean, you've all seen how bad I am with scissors. I'm 10 times worse with a flipping eyeballing something. Yeah, it's not pretty. That's going to have to be cut as well. That one looks... No, it's going to have to be cut. That one looks pretty straight, but it looks a bit longer than I wanted. So let's start by getting all of our cards the right size. This is so boring for you guys, I'm so sorry, but yeah, it's just part of the process, isn't it? But yeah, don't feel like you can't, please don't feel like you can't just switch off or even fast forward, because I'm bored and I'm the one who's doing it. I love the fluffy stuff rather than the, some of the things I really hate is when you're doing ink in pages, that sort of thing. Oh gosh, drives me round the twist. When you've just got like a little card to do, it's fine, but when you've got a whole journal to ink, yeah, I do get a little bit distracted and a little bit narky. The papers are beautiful, but I printed these because I was going to use them in a file folder, which then turned into a journal instead. So I've got loads of these that I'm going to be using. I will make some master boards with what I've got left, because it's definitely too nice to go in the junk pile. Yeah, I can't get away from, I love this pattern here. It is my favourite, I think. But there we go, we've got a couple, and we will make a couple of journals. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the white bits off the top section. If I can. There we go. So we know, I'm going to take a bit more actually, so we know where we are kind of starting from. It's better. Okay. So, let's get started. Right, these, I don't know how well this is going to stick, because this is the linen side, and I'm going to have to stick down the plainer side, I think, because I'm not sure the linen side's going to take particularly well with glue. So that's a potential no use one there, because I've still got the name of the project on there. Gosh, I'm not going to talk about glue. You're okay. You're safe. I was laughing, mind, because I do talk about glue an awful lot, and I was laughing because I watched some videos from Justine at House of Mahalo the other day, and she was talking about glue. I think it must be a crafter's kind of go-to conversation when they start talking about the things that frustrate them and they struggle with. And okay, so we will let those dry first of all. The linen card is beautiful. I bought it, funny enough, I went down to Cornwall last year, and I bought it from, I want to say, it's called, let me think. Oh, Trago Mills. And we've got a Trago Mills in localish in Wales. We've got one in a place called Merthyr Tydfil, and it's the one place I hated. Whenever we went to Cornwall, I would be the one who would go and sit in the car and wait for the the rest of the party to kind of do their Trago Mills stint. And it used to drive me up the wall. And then I discovered crafting, and then I discovered that Trago Mills do some incredibly reasonably priced stuff for crafting. And this paper came in a big ream. I think it was 500 a piece, and it's it's cream linen, and it came in 500. And it was something like £8, or it could even have been £6, but I do think it was £8. And I was like, wow, that is a bargain. Yeah, I was well impressed. So I'm going to go down to Cornwall again this year, and the Trago Mills is in a place called Falmouth. Beautiful Cornwall, absolutely gorgeous. But I already have Falmouth on my itinerary as one of my stops, so I'm hoping to stock up again on this card. It's not the type you use every day in any way, shape or form, but when you do use it, you kind of appreciate how good it is. So yeah, that is the plan. So I'm hoping to come back from Cornwall with a huge stash of crafting goods. They've got some amazing places down there. So they've got some great second-hand places, and they've got they've got this incredible music store. No, it's not a music store. I'm lying. It's not intentionally. It's a bookstore. Sorry, an old bookstore, and it's one of the ones you walk in, and it's absolutely tiny, but it has like 3 stories to it. And each story just literally, it's like a treasure trove. So last year I managed to stock up on vintage music sheets. It wasn't overly cheap, in fairness. It probably was, more than I had thought it would be. But, some real great stuff. And that was, Cornwall was where I got my first Edith Holden book, and I paid through the roof for that. I paid in a charity store, which I think is the same as for those in America, same as your thrift stores, is it? But I paid like £21 for it, which is ridiculous. And then I managed to find a load on Amazon, obviously second-hand, because all of the books are, and they were really dirt cheap. They were like £3 odd each. So I think I bought about 4 of them. But there's only so much you can do with Edith Holden as well, isn't there? So, yeah, lessons learned. But yeah, the moral of the story is I'm really looking forward to going to Cornwall, and I am going to go into Trago Mills with a fresh view. Yeah. It's a nice little boring story for you. Okay, so lovely, beautiful colours, aren't they? Really, really lovely. I think I'm going to cut the edges. Gosh. just because I like the softer look. I might even use some of this blue. Some of this blue ribbon, lace, yeah. Gosh, it's so strange working with something that isn't Tim Holtz, because that's all I've been kind of working with for the last couple of months. And straight away you think, oh, I know that butterfly would go nice with this, or so I'm trying to, I think it's become a bit of an addiction, to be honest. So I'm trying to wean myself off Tim Holtz. Yeah, how successful I am is another story. I would like to do a video next, I think, on like when I joined crafting, especially junk journaling. Well, no, not just junk journaling. I started at the beginning of lockdown, interestingly, and I started with paint by numbers, and I thought, oh, you know, but I tell you what, they're nothing like they used to be. My gosh, they're so detailed now. So I started with painting by numbers, and it really was. I loved it, absolutely loved it. Got some beautiful pictures. One of them is on my wall in my bedroom, one is in my sister's bedroom, and one is in a friend's living room. They really are beautiful. So yeah, I started, I don't think I like that. I started painting anyway, and then I got into just watching some videos, and I kind of came across junk journaling, and I forget completely where I was going with this conversation. Where was I going? Oh, that was it. So yeah, I decided, you know, I would ask all the questions. I would, a bit like now, only in those days it was purely out of ignorance. I think I've stitched that on. But I would watch a video, like I said, and think, oh gosh, that's amazing, I want to make that. And I would go out and buy all of the items that were needed, and spend a fortune, and literally end up with a drawer full of things that I may never, oh, excuse the noise, that I may never use. Wrong one. I may never use again, in fairness. Hang on, 2 seconds. And then I bought the next lot, and then the next lot. So I got drawers of things that, like I said, I'm not even sure I'm going to use again. And, you know, I wish that there had been somebody at the time who'd have been there to say, look, man, no, you're really going to kind of waste your money on that. So I think I might have even broken this. Might need to get a new one. So I wish there was more videos around at the time of, you know, my 10 best buys or my 10 worst buys or whatever. So yeah, that's what I will hopefully do at some point this year, is do a video on kind of, as a new crafter, what my best 10 buys have been. So the things that I kind of use the most, because you can spend so much money and waste money on things you just, you know, you don't need. And the other thing is, you know, when you do that kind of thing, you're then in a position where, like I said, you've got, you know, tons and tons of material, but you quickly find out that actually, you know, the person who you're watching is using, I don't know, a certain brand of ink, and it's a certain colour of ink, but what you've actually got at home from another project is just as good. And so it's learning to kind of make the most of what you've got. And if you haven't got it, you know, different ways of getting your hands on it. I love the channels at the moment that are doing things like, you know, scrap projects. And I don't mean scrap cardstocks and bits and pieces like that, but I'm on about actual scrap products. Like your, I don't know, your microwave meal carton, or yeah, and the longer I'm kind of in this hobby, the more I realise that, you know, you can really, it's so commercialised, you can really get caught and spend lots and lots of money on things that you just really, really don't need to. So, yeah, I think I would like to, I don't know, just give a little bit of advice, I suppose, to people who are just starting out, like I was, if that makes sense. I don't know how that's going to kind of pan out, but the idea's there. I did start doing a video on it, but yeah, I lost my thread, and I squirreled. There we go, I squirreled. So, okay. So we are definitely making the most of a Friday evening before the weekend gets too busy. Absolutely loving some just chill out time. And again, I really don't know what I'm doing. Just kind of waffling and blagging it, I think. Where's my thingamybobby? I do, the one thing I do love about this card is that it's, you can see the texture whether you put something on it or not, but it almost reminds me of fabric. And yeah, I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. Just looking to see if I've got any more of those little stamps, so I can kind of bring Tim back into it. Yeah, maybe. Let's cut these little bits off here. Too wide. Yeah, we'll go with that, shall we? Can't believe it's the 1st of April today. It's it's balmy, isn't it? How quickly time flies. Absolutely frightening. It'll be Christmas again before we know it. Crazy. It is crazy. So I'm just, with this, gonna put some glue across the bottom and the two sides, and I'm gonna pop that on there, as a little dutty pocket. Who doesn't love a dutty pocket? I will stitch that on, but let's just go around the edge before I do that. Okay, so got a dutty pocket on that one. I am really winging this now. I tried with the altered paper clips and didn't have much, oh gosh, what am I doing? Didn't have much joy with those. I did make some, but they really weren't great. So, yeah, so we're trying some other bits and pieces. I like this lace because it's stretchy as well as like a bit elasticy. So it's great. Not necessarily when you make it that small, but okay. I do want to use these, but I don't want to use it just for the sake of using it, but I do think it looks quite pretty there. And some of these spaces have literally just got a pocket to fill. Okay. And then with this one, I think I'm going to cut this border off. And I'm going to attach that to this here. I need to print some more words, you know. You can get the digital kits with all words and stuff, a bit like Tracy labels, but, you know, with just the phrases on. So I need to print a load of those off. Excuse me. Don't even know if I like that. I'm just putting that on for the sake of it. What if I take a little divot out of the edge there? Oh gosh, without breaking anything. The same here. And then we can put another little, almost like a little, tiny little miniature pocket stroke label. Tim Holtz kind of like emblem. Is that a thing? Okie dokie. So just a little bit now of inking. And we'll put these and see where they go. And then I think that'll probably be it for today. I know you're probably keen just to get to the end. Yeah, and I I get that. I'm probably one of the most impatient people on the planet, but I really didn't want to film this whole process, but it's done now, so. Let's just stop moaning and get on with it. Loving that lace. Oh, that's good. We are a lot fuller on that one than I thought. So let's have a look at number 2. Okay, so we've got a brown one that we need to put in here. Like so. And I think once that is in properly, it'll pop back down where it should be. Got a card in there. This one here, I would like to put something like that in, I think. Yeah, I think I do like that. So let's put a bit of string in. String, ribbon, lace. You know what I mean. So yeah, I'm sorry it's been a waffly video tonight. You can tell it's the end of the week and I just really looking forward to kind of chilling. And yeah, hopefully I won't waffle so much on the next one. I still need to make something for that one, but I don't know yet what that will be. I've still got to stitch that. Let's have a little look-see without wrecking the joint, that is. Yeah, I think it looks a bit too, they're too big. I mean, they're only just too big. I could cut them down a little bit. Let's have a look. Let's have a little look-see. So I'll just take a little bit of each end. And I think I'll also take a little bit off the top and bottom, because otherwise the shading section isn't going to look quite right. Is that going to fit in there? Maybe. Maybe. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely, I think with the whole William Morris kind of feel, it doesn't feel like it should be, I don't like that, it doesn't feel like it should be pretty, it feels like it should be, I don't know, more, I don't know, am I allowed to say more masculine, or I don't know. Yeah. See, we could have used that as a side pocket, but we have a tag now, so we're not going to. But that will go in there, I think. Oh, and I did need something on this one, and that would look lovely. I think, yeah, so, do you know what, I'm not going to, let me just tie this for now and see what that looks like before I stitch. It actually looks better tied than it did when I pulled it through as a double piece. Okay, let's put that there. So that will be signature 1, that will be signature 2, and what do we still need for signature? Okay, so what do we still need for signature 3? So we still got to put our pad in there. be nice to have something in there. That's not going to go, but it'd be nice to have something in there. So, yeah, so something, you'll get something to go in there. And to be honest, I think that's our biggest writing pad. So I think that is pretty much going to be the end then. So we have got a writing pad to make, and we've got perhaps another 2 or 3 journal cards, which I won't make you hang on for. I will put those together, and hopefully when we come back we'll be in a position to be able to start the cover. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, that's it for tonight. I hope you have a lovely weekend. If I don't speak to you beforehand, yeah, I hope the weather's good for you, and I hope you get some chill out time. It certainly is a busy world at the moment, isn't it, where we need to just really relax and take some time out for ourselves. So yeah, now I've lost my, there it is. Sorry, I'm just a bit scattier today than normal. Okay, so yeah, have a fab weekend. Enjoy yourselves. I hope you get up to lots of lovely things, even if that's just chilling out. And I will speak to you very, very soon. Take care for now. Bye.